Okay, so this is page 71, task 1. We are given the front view and the top view of a right regular triangular prism and a right regular square pyramid, right? And we're also given the starting point. The starting point is on our answer space. Specifications: one base edge of the triangular prism is in contact with one base edge of the square pyramid. Both solids are cut by cutting plane AA. So here I have the two views. I have the top view and the front view of the two solids, and the two solids are in contact right there. So that means one edge of the base of the pyramid is in contact with one edge of the one base of the triangular prism, right? Okay, so we are also given the cutting plane there. It's cutting plane AA, right? Okay. Instructions: draw to a scale 1:1 the following views of the two solids. So we have to draw these three views: the given front view, a sectional top view, a sectional left view. Lastly, show all necessary construction, show all hidden detail, right? Okay, very important. We have to show all hidden detail. So now, obviously, I'll have to analyze the given views. So I can see that here we are given the front view there, right? Are we given the measurements from here to there? No, we are not given. And even if you look at your top view, there are no measurements there, but we are given that the side of the square, it's 40 there. So that means even the sides of the triangle there, it's 40, right? But we are not given the distance from this point to that point, right? So that means we have to draw the top view first so that we can project all the points up to this section, right? Okay, so now obviously we have the starting point there on our answer space there. Obviously we'll start at this point, right? Okay, so because now we are given that all the sides of the triangle, it's 40, and this side of the prism is at an angle of 15 degrees. So I can just take my protractor. Let me just take my protractor and I'll measure that 15 degrees. So I'll put my protractor at this point. Obviously this point of the protractor must be exactly at that point starting O, and then now obviously I'll measure that angle from this side anti-clockwise. So 0 is there, 10 is there, 15 will be there. So this is 15 degrees. Then I can just draw a straight line there from our point O, just like that, and then I can just mark 40 millimeters there, like that, right? Okay, and then obviously I'm trying to draw this triangle, right? Okay, so I can just take my compass and mark off 40 there, because all the sides of the triangle are 40. Then I'll put my compass at that point and draw an arc. Put my compass at that point, draw an arc there. So that means we have a point right there. So now I can just join the points and draw the triangle. So that means I have a line there, I have a line there. So this is our triangle. So remember, I'll have to draw the top view in light construction first, because they said we have to draw a sectional top view, right? Okay, so from there I'll have to obviously draw the square, right? So all the sides, it's 14, it's 40, not 14, sorry. So it's 40. So obviously those two lines, they're perpendicular to this line, right? Okay, so that means I'll have to take my set squares. I'll put this set square right there on that line of the triangle there, and I'll put this one just like that, so that I can just draw two lines there and also there, right? And then I can just mark 40 there, 40 there, and then I can just connect the points there just like that. So this is our square and this is our triangle, right? And then I can add the lines inside the square there because this is a pyramid, remember. So just draw those lines there just like that. Okay, so this is our top view, as you can see from our question. So this is the complete one in light construction, right? So now obviously I'll have to label the points. So I can just say this is point number 1, 2, 3, right? For the triangle, I'll move to our square there. So I can say this is point A, this is B, this is C, and D, right? Okay, so now I'll proceed with my drawing. So I'll just draw a line from that point, and then I'll just measure 10 millimeters going up so that I can just draw my XY line. So from instructions, they said we have to draw what? A sectional left view, right? Okay, left view, that means that sectional left view will be drawn where? This side, on our right hand side. So my XY line, I will just draw it from here to somewhere here, right? Because I will have to draw the sectional left view, right? So I can just label my XY line there, Y there. Okay, so now because I have my XY line there, let me just add a line for the base of the two solids there. So I'll just draw a construction line there. Okay, so now obviously I have to project all the points from the top view there up to this section so that I can draw the front view, right? So I'll just project all the points up. So make sure you project all the points. Okay, so let me just zoom out a little bit. Okay, so let me just go back to my two views there. So obviously I'm drawing the front view now, right? So the height of the two solids is 60 millimeters, so that means I'll have to measure 60 there. 60 is right there. Then obviously I can just draw a line there, right? Okay, so let me just label all the points. So obviously A, B, C, D, those points are the base of the pyramid, right? I forgot to label this point. This is point T, right? So obviously I have 4 points. So this is A, right? And this one is D. C is there. And B is there, right? Okay, and then we have point T. So this point is just up there because remember this solid as it's a pyramid, so T is right there. And then for the prism there we have 1, 2, 3. 1 is there, 2 it's at the same point as B, so here we have B and 2, and then 3, let's C and 3, we have C and 3 there, right? Okay, so now I can just draw my my front view. Remember here this edge is 2, and then this one is 1, and then 3 is hidden there, right? Okay, so I can just draw a straight line here. So this is edge or line 2 2, right? Because remember, a prism has what? It consists of two bases, the top base and the bottom base, right? Okay, so we have line 1 1 there. So this is 1 1, right? And then line 3 3 is hidden, so I'll just add dash lines there to show that that part is hidden. Just like that. And then I'll just complete my prism there and the bottom base there, right? Okay, and then now I'll have to draw the pyramid. So as you can see, that edge of the pyramid from here to there, it's hidden, right? Okay, so I'll have to, it's this edge there, TC, right? So from T to C, obviously I'll have a line, so a line from T to this edge of the prism, and then this part will be hidden, so I'll just add some hidden detail lines just like that. And then we have TA. TA is just right there, so I can just connect the points like that. We have TB. TB is right there. Can just connect the points there. And then we also have TD, so that line is hidden, so I'll just add some hidden detail line there, just like that. Okay, and then I just complete my pyramid there by adding this space, that line there. Okay, so we are almost there, because now I'll have to draw the cutting plane, and the cutting plane is from this point of the pyramid to that point up there from the prism. So I can just draw that cutting plane in. So cutting plane starts there. So this is our cutting plane A, right? Okay, so this is our complete front view, so I can just mark that off. So this is our complete front view. So now I have to just draw the sectional top view, right? So obviously this view must be drawn cut. So before that, I just want to because obviously we are drawing the sectional top view, right? That means we are looking at these two solids from the top, right? Let me just zoom out a little bit. It means that we're looking at these two solids from the top, right? Okay, from the top. So that means for us to see the two cut surfaces of the two solids, we will have to remove these two portions, right? Because obviously for us to see the two cut surfaces, we have to cut these two portions out so that we can see the cut surfaces, right? So obviously I'll just project the points from the cutting plane down to this section. So I'll just highlight this two portions there just to show that those sections are cut out. Okay, so now I'll just project the points from the cutting plane there right? So I'll just project all the points. So I'll start with this point, just like that. So, okay, so I'll start with this point. Obviously, this point is right there, right? Then the next one here we have line TD, right? Where is line TD from the top view? TD is right there. That means we have a point there. And we also have this point here. And the cutting plane here is cutting line TB. So where is TP from the top view? TP is right there. So that means I'll use that line and mark a point there. And then we have that point, right? And obviously this point is between point T and C, right? T and C is right there from the top view. That means we have a point there. So obviously this is the cut surface for the pyramid, so I can just connect the points there. So just connect the points there. Like that. Like that. And then obviously I'll have to hatch the surface, so I can just let me use my 45-degree set square. So I'll just hatch the surface there. So this is our cut surface for the pyramid, so I can just draw those lines there. Okay, so remember we've cut this solid there. That means we have cut out this portion up there. That means point T is no longer there. That point is cut out. So the remaining portion is just right here. It's this portion. So obviously this points from the base, they are still there. So I can just draw the base in like that. Just like that. And also this line, that edge, and even this edge there. So my focus for now is on the pyramid, right? Okay, so obviously we still have this edge there, this edge for line TB, but obviously from here to there, that part is cut out. We are left with this part of the line. So that part of the line from the top view is right there, same as this line TC. TC, we have that part, that edge there, it's this edge, and obviously this part as well. So I can just draw those lines in just like that, and also this one. All right, okay, so I'm done with the pyramid. So I'll just try and draw the left view now. So I'll add an XY line there, so I'll mark off 10 millimeters there, then draw okay. So because now there is this cutting plane, I'll just measure 20. So I'll add the XY line there. So this is our X2, Y2, right? And then I'll add our 45-degree line there, just like that. So obviously now I'll have to project all the points to the 45-degree line and then up, and also the points from our front view I have to project them to this direction, to our right hand side. So I'll start with the top view. So I'll just project all the points there. Okay, then project all the points up. Okay, just like that. Okay, now I'll start with the pyramid. Obviously I'll draw that view in light construction first. So I'll start with point A. So A is right there. So obviously I have A there. So I can label that point A. And B is here. So obviously that means we have point B there. This is point B. C is there. That means we have point C there. And D is right there. Right? And then T, let me just project the height there. And point T as well. Just like that. Then up. So obviously T is up there. So I can label that point T. And obviously all the points from the base, they go to point T. They just connect to point T there. So just take all the points to that point up there. Okay, just like that. So this is our pyramid there. So now I have to draw the prism. Obviously the prism is 1, 2, 3. So we have 1 there, right? So obviously 1 is there. So we have a point from the base. So this point is 1. And we have a point as well up there. So this is edge 1, 1 for the prism. And then I move to point 2. 2 is right there. I'll use this line, right? Up there, 2 obviously is there. So we have 2 points there, 2 and B, and we also have 2 up there, right? Okay. And then the next point is 3. 3, they share the same point with C, and we have 3 as well up there, just like that. So yeah, that's it. So now obviously you can see this view is in light construction. And then now I'll just project, I'll start with the pyramid. Let me just try and draw the cut surface of the pyramid, né? And then after that I'll just draw the cut surface of the prism on our view, our right view, not right view, our left view. So I'll start with the points on the cutting plane on the pyramid. From the pyramid we have 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So I'll have to project those points to our left view there. Okay, so obviously the cut surface starts there, and then obviously we have that point there from A. We have A there, and then here obviously this line is line TD. So where is TD from our left view? TD is there, so that means we have a point right there. And we move to the next point. This is line TB. So where is TB from our left view? TB is there, so that means we have a point there. right? TPS, and then the next point is on line TC. Where is TC? TC is there. That means we have a point there. So now I'll have to connect the points. Obviously, the cutting plane starts at point A, right? And it goes up to that point. So I can just draw a straight line all the way to there, and then goes up to that point, which is that point. Okay. Draw a straight line there, okay, and then up to that point, which is this one. So all the points will go to that point up there. So obviously I must have 4 sides of the cut surface. As you can see there, I have 4 sides. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I can just hatch that surface, that cut surface there. So okay, so this is the cut surface for the pyramid, and then now I'll just move to the prism. So I'll start by projecting the points of the cutting plane. So I have the first point there, then the second point is there, then the last point is up there, right? Okay, so obviously I'll start with this point here. So this is line 2 2, right? Where is 2 2 from our left view? Line 2 2 is there, so that means we have a point there, right? Okay, and then I move to this point. This is line 3 3. I forgot to label that point. So this is line 3 3. Where is line 3 3 from our left view? That line is right there, so that means we have a point there, right? Okay, then I move to that last point. That point is on line 1 1, so 1 1 is there, that means we have a point there. So now I can just connect these points. So obviously this is a triangular prism, so obviously I'll have 3 sides of the cut surface, just like that. So just connect those points. So remember, for this cut surface, the hatching lines, they are in this direction. So that means when I hatch this surface, I have to hatch that surface in the opposite direction. So I'll just hatch that like that, in that direction, because these are 2 different solids. So I can hatch them in the opposite direction. Okay, so this is my cut surface for the prism. So as you can see, the hatching lines are in the opposite direction. Why? Because these are 2 different solids. Okay, so now obviously I'm not done. I have to draw in the remaining parts. So I'll start with the pyramid, because obviously looking from this direction, let me just add an arrow there. That means we are looking at these 2 solids from this side. Right? So obviously for us to see the 2 cut surfaces, we have to remove these two portions, right? Okay, so that means these points are cut out, right? We are left with this bottom points there. Okay, so obviously this point is right there, it's A, and then we have D, so we have an edge there, right? So obviously it's D, it's this line there, so I'll have to draw that line in. So why did I start with the pyramid is because obviously looking from this direction, the pyramid is close to me or close to this person, and then obviously the prism is just behind the pyramid. So that's the reason why I'm drawing the pyramid in first, and then after that I'll just focus on the prism, right? Okay, and then we have B. Where is B? B is right there, so I can just draw that line in, not all the way to T because T is cut out. Okay, and we have point C there, so obviously this edge C is behind, that means that edge will be hidden, so I have to draw some hidden detail lines there, right? Okay, and then yeah, that's all, and then I have to draw the base line there. Okay, so I'm done with the pyramid. That means now I move to the prism, right? For the prism, obviously we have this edge there, this line 2 2, but obviously now that point is cut out. That means we are left with this line now from 2 to that point. So where is 2? 2 is there, and then the cut surface is there, that means that point is there, so I have to draw that in just like that, right? Okay, and then we have this edge there, 3, right? 3, that point is there, so obviously I'll have a line up to that cut surface of the pyramid, and then from here, from this point to this point, I'll have to add some hidden detail. Why? Because now that part is hidden. Remember, we have the pyramid in front of the prism, so obviously here I'll have to add a hidden detail line, and then I move to the last point, which is 1 1. So that line, we do have that line from point 1 all the way to point 1, so obviously that line is hidden, so I'll have to draw in some hidden detail line. Okay, so this is the complete sectional left view. So now I'll go back to my sectional top view. For this prism, obviously this part here, the surface of this part is a triangle, so obviously it's the same as the base, so that means I have to hatch the whole section here, this triangle there, so I'll just hatch that, remember, in the opposite direction from this one, so I'll just hatch that surface,